cryptocurrency.
Welcome, you guys. Another video. What's up, my people? What's going on? This is Eric Brandt. Welcome to the Family Cash Machine. Another video we're going to do called Follow the Money. And that's the show we do every day. It's good to see you guys out there in the world. I've been giving you guys a little bit of information as far as what we do in the Family Cash Machine. I explain what the Family Cash Machine is if you watch some of our videos. And right now I'm going to talk to you guys. I'm getting a lot of questions about why are we starting this venture we have. We have a online course, and why are you guys only taking cryptocurrency, and why are you guys paying out cryptocurrency when it comes to the decentralized bonus? Well, the decentralized bonus is basically us giving the students a portion of the revenue that the school is generating. It's a huge opportunity for individuals to learn this industry. Now, we chose an educational package because we realized that right now is one of the times in the world for one of the greatest exchanges of wealth ever in the history of the world. And I'm going to tell you why. Because there's several fiat currencies that's crashing right now, that's going to crash. Economies around the world are in trouble because they've been borrowing money, and borrowing time. But at the same time, you can't keep printing money with nothing backing it. It's going to eventually crash. And that's what's happening right now. And we have a technology now, for the first time ever in the history of the world, that is disrupting money. And that's Bitcoin cryptocurrency. And also, they're finding out now, well, they actually found this out when it first started, and that this technology called blockchain technology has the ability to disrupt assets also, meaning that there's a huge time right now for assets to be digitized, and that's never been able to be done without centralizing it. And what that means is, I mean, we have certain digital assets, meaning that they're on the computer, but they all go through one server. So, like, say for instance, if Bank of America has all of your financial documents and your assets all on their computer, well, that's a form of digitizing your ownership, but it's centralized in the event that if someone hacks the bank or hacks their server, their central server, they have access to all these individuals' assets. That's a little different than blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is the first time ever in the world that we've been able to decentralize assets digitally. Wow. So what does that mean? This is some technical stuff, and I don't mean to throw you guys off. It's just, this is a part of the industry, so I'm getting very comfortable with this terminology. So forgive me for speaking fast, or forgive me for using terminology that's pretty normal to me now, but it's a lot of computer terminology, and you'll get used to it if you guys start taking the classes. But this is the first time in the world that we have an opportunity to decentralize and digitize assets, meaning that you can have 100 million people in a network, and they'll be able to see my deed that's digitized, and they'll all have access to the original deed, but they won't be able to change the deed. They can just see the deed. Now, only me having the private keys will be able to actually add things, or record things on my deed. But being that there's only one person who has access through the private keys. Now, if I lose my private keys, yeah, I'm in trouble. But what that does, by sharing that original document with 100 million people, what that does is it discourages fraud. It stops individuals from being able to fraudulently create any kind of fraudulent documents, or to sell your property without you knowing, because you got 100 million people that can actually see the deed. And there's nothing wrong with that, because your deed is public record anyway on any county. But there are mistakes in recording. There are things that happen on deeds that I've seen people lose properties and things of that nature because of accidents or mistakes that people made. Of course, there were lawsuits later, but who wants to go through that? And so now, and then there's a lot of individuals who have taken advantage of elderly people with their deeds. So if you can digitize this and you can decentralize it and make it where everybody has access to the original document, but nobody can alter that document but the owner, This right here is game changing. It's never been done before, and you can also digitize stocks, bonds, car ownerships, all different types of documentations. That's digital assets. Now we can decentralize it. So this is a huge breakthrough. This is why I decided to pay in cryptocurrency, and this is why I decided to create a cryptocurrency online course that talks about decentralization, that teaches people one of the latest, greatest technologies that's going to disrupt and going to create a huge, massive exchange of wealth in the world. This is why we did that. And so, because this is a knowledge that you're going to need. This is a knowledge right now that's creating the fastest, youngest millionaires in the world by learning this. But what happened is, most of these individuals come from the computer world. So some of the first multimillionaires in the cryptocurrency space were programmers. And so it makes sense because they understood what was actually happening. They understood the technology. They understood the undergirding principles that will create value with this. Now, you have a lot of third world countries where they don't have really good escrow companies. So what I didn't know when I came into the blockchain technology industry is over 70% of the world real estate has some type of problems with the title. Now, we don't have that issue in America. We don't have that issue in a lot of parts of Europe and quote-unquote westernized, civilized world. But in a lot of third world countries, in fact, 70% of the world have issues when it comes to transferring property. And the issues are corruption. It's individuals from government, people who have a hand in city council. You know, after you purchase a property, 2-3 years later, they'll pop up and say, hey, I put 20,000 in that property. Or my father's father put 100,000 in that property. And so now you're tied up in court with a clouded title. This is a huge issue in the world. Well, guess what? Blockchain technology will solve that. And so you won't be able to do that because everybody can see the ledger. Everybody can see the ledger. And that is going to eliminate corruption. It's going to eliminate fraud. And that is a very valuable commodity to have. It's going to create value. And it's definitely a demand for this technology. Like I said, decentralization. Also in a decentralized platform, you have the sharing of revenue. Total different concept than what we have today. The sharing of revenue. Could you guys imagine if there was individuals out there that had the mindset of decentralization when the internet started? And when the internet started, you had marketers out there who said, okay, AOL, give me a commission on everybody that I get out there, and I can persuade people to set up an AOL account. Okay, Yahoo. When Yahoo first came out, I thought it was a cowboy company or something. Yahoo. You know, I didn't know what it was. Yahoo. I remember it came out in like 1996 or something like that. So when Yahoo first came out, I didn't really know what it was. And now we all know what Yahoo is. But could you imagine if you guys had a marketer's mindset, an advertising mindset, or an investor's mindset at the time when Yahoo started? And you went to Yahoo, or Yahoo promoted, hey, we're going to give you guys a percentage, a certain commission for every email or every person that you can persuade to set up an email. Do you know how much money would have been produced by the general public? How many millionaires would have popped up? Because we all know that everybody got a Yahoo account, they got a Google account, or one of the two. You know, AOL's kind of played out, but you guys get my drift where I'm going. And that's where we're at right now in the cryptocurrency space. We're at a point right now where it's wide open. It's an opportunity for you guys to get in and place a stake here and to create generational wealth. This is why I feel like that knowledge right now is the knowledge that the people need, because it is a what we want to say, it's a trend, it's a paradigm shift. And whenever you have these type of trends and paradigm shifts, it creates a huge lane for a lot of people to make a lot of money. And so the cryptocurrency space, the blockchain technology, the decentralized space is a space that is going to open up lanes for people that you won't believe. And like I said, we have a shared revenue because we have a true decentralized school. Now, if Facebook would have did that, it would have created thousands, if not millions, of millionaires. But Facebook, what they did is they used all your content, they used all your videos, all of your comments, all of your likes, and all of your pictures, and they capitalized on it. You got no money from that, but all of the content is the people's. So decentralization is a little different. You don't have a Mark Zuckerberg. You don't have a CEO of the company. You have a company, and it shares its revenue with the people, and it shares its network with the people. It's no centralized server. It's a network of individuals who all together create this value, but they all have access to sharing in that value. And so that's why we set this company up the way we set it up, because we want to make sure we have a platform where people can win. We don't have a platform like a conventional network marketing company or something where you only got 5 or 6 people to win. We wanted to set up a company that once they engaged in the company, once they invested in the company, which is really buying a class, that's really an investment in yourself. Whenever you buy any kind of knowledge, whenever you buy any kind of information, or wisdom, or education, that is an investment in yourself. So we made it to where we're rewarding people for investing in themselves. So when you invest in yourself and purchase a course, you're now pretty much has stake in the company. You're getting payments now from the company and the rest of the individuals who are coming in now to learn this technology. Now, could you imagine if there was a school in 1994 to teach you what the internet was? And it was a lot of classes on the internet, but they didn't pay anybody. I mean, you had to pay for those classes, and there was no money came back to the people. So could you imagine if all the universities who had computer classes back in the 90s, and I'm sure millions of people took computer classes, could you imagine if that school set up a pool where everyone who actually purchased a class shared in the revenue that school generated? Phenomenal. And that's what we're doing. That's what the Family Cash Machine has done. That's the platform we created. Now, again, why are we paying you guys in Bitcoins? We have a network marketing that we're going to pay in Bitcoins as well, but we're going to pay the decentralized bonus in Bitcoin because, first of all, people in America and people in other civilized countries don't consider the fact that there's a lot of people in other countries, even the country I'm in now, I'm in Dominican, and there's a lot of people in Brazil, there's a lot of people in Argentina and Peru and Colombia and Venezuela and Costa Rica and Mexico, Africa. There's so many, India, there's so many countries where even China, there's individuals in some of these countries who may not have birth certificates, who may not have proper documentation. There's over 2 billion people in the world right now that don't have a bank account for whatever reason. So when you set up a typical company where you require from them their debit card, their banking information, or their social security, you're excluding all these people. So we didn't want to do that. We wanted to give everybody in the world an opportunity not only to learn a technology, to learn an education that I know they're going to benefit from, but to also learn, but also capitalize on it. So we didn't want to exclude anybody. We wanted to include those 2 billion people around the world who don't have banking. We can pay them through Bitcoin because a good 78% of the world have a cell phone. Isn't that interesting? People may not have ID. There's people that might not have proper documentation in the world, but they got a cell phone. They may not have the latest iPhone, but they got some type of cell phone, and that's 78% of the people in the world. So now we're talking about 78% of 7 billion that can be inclusive, and a company, a platform that's sharing its revenue, a company that's going to be big, a company that is surrounding itself around the knowledge that people are going to need right now. And like I said, it's kind of compared to the internet. This is a huge phenomenon called cryptocurrency, called blockchain technology, that everybody's interested in. It's all on Wall Street. Every bank wants to talk about it. Every bank wants to know how to create a blockchain now. And this is a huge opportunity because there's so many different ways to make money in this industry. It's not even funny. And there's new ways every day being created to make money in this industry. It's wide open, you guys. So I definitely am excited that we're teaching this information to those that are here, those that can see the vision, and those who understand the future of money and the future of technology. It's going to happen with you or without you. It doesn't matter whether you guys want to get on board or not. This is going to happen. And so the more you learn about it, you can position yourself to ride the wave and make a lot of money. In ways I'm finding, I've been in this industry 4 years and I'm still finding out more ways that people making money in this industry. It's crazy. And so, and I've been studying every day. It's not like I just got a little knowledge on it. I study every day, different ways to make money in this. And every day I'm finding out different ways, more ways that people are making money in this industry that you've never heard of. And so, because again, it's something new, so it's creating income as it's growing. Okay? So this is something I want you guys to learn. I want you guys to understand. Not just I want you to understand. You need to understand cryptocurrency, and you need to understand blockchain technology, decentralization. And why not put yourself in a position to get paid? As people are learning this, more and more people are going to want to learn, and as more and more people want to learn, you're getting paid from them, and you don't even know these individuals, all because you put yourself in a position in the family cash machine, and you locked in a position, and you bought a class, you purchased a class, and as you upgrade courses, then that just entitles you to even more money. Wow, so it's nothing like what we're doing right now. I know we're going to change the game on a lot of different platforms, and we want to change the game. We wanted to set up something where the people can win. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. And the other thing is, I don't have to 1099 you. I don't have to even go into any more detail about that because I'm not paying you cash. I'm not paying you any cash. I'm just trading with you, a service, or I'm trading with you a commodity, an asset. So I don't have to 1099 you if I'm not paying you any cash. So that in itself is a huge benefit to you. Also, the reason that we're paying you in Bitcoin is because we know that commodity is going to continue to go up in value because the way the algorithms are set, and because it's a commodity that's only 21 million of them. That's it. There's not a whole lot of them, and that's it. It's only 21 million. You can't just make them. It takes tremendous amount of electricity from these huge computers and these huge facilities to be able to produce a Bitcoin. And what's going to happen in 2020 May, they got this thing called the halvening, where all these miners that have spent millions of dollars on these facilities, instead of getting 12 Bitcoins per block, now they're only going to get 6 Bitcoins per block. And this is the way Bitcoin was set up. It was set up on an algorithm where every 4 years it halves. And so it won't be till 2140. Listen, 2140 before the last Bitcoin is produced. So you're telling me more and more demand is being created, okay? Because Bitcoin started 10 years ago, and it literally has surpassed gold. It took gold 5,000 years before Jesus even. 5,000 years to get to $1,500 an ounce. Think about what I'm saying. Bitcoin started in 2008, and it's already in 12 years. It's closing in on 10 grand the day I'm doing this video. I just looked at it today. It was like 9,700. It's closing in on 10,000 per coin, and it's not even a physical coin because of technology. Okay, so all statistics show it has outperformed gold. Okay, now people say, well, it's volatile. Yeah, it is volatile because when I looked at the trade the last 24 hours, about 25% of the total value of Bitcoin was traded in one day. That's kind of scary when you talk about hedge funds, or ETFs, or bonds, or trust, or any type of asset class that's trading gold, silver. None of those assets exchange 20%, 25% of their value, of their total value every single day. That's unheard of. But this is Bitcoin. This is cryptocurrency. And the reason you have such a huge fluctuation every day and you have such a huge trade amount every day is because it's a digital asset that moves in seconds. So these other, I mean, try to trade $1 million of gold in a second. It's impossible. Try to trade $2-3 million of even orange juice or a commodity like pork bellies in a second. You can't do it. You got to call your broker and all this other stuff. And even if you were a broker on the floor, you may not find a sell or a buy within that quick amount of time. So this is an asset that is traded digitally within seconds. Okay, you can do peer-to-peer transactions to an individual, or you can go to an exchange and literally dump your Bitcoins in seconds. I've seen it done. And so this is why it's such a huge fluctuation, because of the liquidity of it. And that's why I like it. I actually like it, because if I had $1 million in Bitcoin right now, I can get my cash within seconds. Seconds. And nobody will even know I did it. I could be talking on this video right now, waiting for a transaction to go through within the next couple seconds. I could have sent the Bitcoins before I got on this call, and when I get off, it's already done. So try to move $1 million at the banks right now and see how much of a problem you have, even with your own money. The other reason why we use Bitcoin for you guys to purchase the courses, okay, is because what we're finding out now, a lot of banks are doing this. When it comes to Bitcoin or cryptocurrency products, they're stopping the transactions. There's a lot of websites now that have Bitcoins. Big websites, Coinbase, CoinMarketCap. There's a lot of big websites, big exchanges, Binance, you name it. And they're having problems with banks, telling the client, the customer, for instance, when you put in a purchase with your credit card, debit card, and you say you go buy a $200 class with the family cash machine, and they know that this is a website that's doing cryptocurrency, the banks will stop the transaction. Now, this is your money. Banks do this all the time. They stop transactions. Then you call them and you say, hey, my transactions didn't go through. Oh, well, we didn't do anything. We didn't do nothing. No, it's not us. And you go back and forth with them. It's them. They're stopping the transaction. They don't want to support cryptocurrency. They don't want... They have softwares now that identify with different cryptocurrency websites, and they're blocking the transactions. I've been through that. I'm telling you, and I'm talking to major companies that are doing hundreds of millions of dollars in transactions a day. They're having the same problem, and it's not our problem. It's the problem you're having with your banks. But again, remember, that's your money. How dare they tell you what you can spend your money on and you can't spend your money on? So you need to get on the phone, call them, and make sure they're not blocking these transactions. Because that's your money. It's not their money. But this is another reason why we use Bitcoin. Because once you guys have, $200-300 worth of Bitcoins, a couple $1,000s worth of Bitcoins in your wallet, you can buy whatever you want when you want to buy it. Nobody can tell you no. Nobody can stop you from doing a transaction. Nobody can hold your money or block a transaction. So that's the other reason why we're using Bitcoins for our classes. It's the freedom. We want people to learn how to experience economic freedom. You don't really have economic freedom if you're using a bank. That bank holds your money, and that bank basically tells you what they think you can spend money on and you can't. Now, of course, if you go to Amazon or something, they're going to approve it. But there's certain websites where you might want to go buy something, and they say, oh, well, we don't advise you do that. We block that because we don't deal with that company, and we block. And there's nothing you can do. But that's your money. So this is why we do Bitcoin, because it allows you transactional freedom. Freedom to transact who and where and how you want. And that's what this is all about. This is not just about, oh, well, Bitcoin is up today, Bitcoin is down today. And this is a speculative perspective that a lot of people look at, but it's actually created to be able to free up transactions. That was the real reason for Bitcoin, and that to me is valuable as hell in this world where you have so many restrictions and regulations on money. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign out again. You guys want to right now like and subscribe to this channel. You guys want to grab the free Phoenix class. I'm going to put it underneath this video. And I'm also going to put a free ebook that you guys can read called The Greatest Exchange of Wealth in History. You guys, you cannot, believe me, you cannot invest in anything better than knowledge and the right kind of knowledge at the right time, okay? Again, like I said, if you guys take a cryptocurrency course 10 years later when everybody's using it and it's all over the world, there's no value there. Just like if you go take an internet class right now and learn about the internet, there's really no value there unless you're learning internet marketing and how to market online. But if you're just going to learn what Facebook is, what Instagram is, and if you're just going to learn that now so you can fit into society because it's a necessity, there's no value in that, really. But if you would have learned this before all these social medias came out, now the timing of that information would have put you in a position to create value. And that's what's going on in the cryptocurrency space. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out again. Like and subscribe to the channel. Grab the free ebook, The Greatest Exchange of Wealth, what I'm going to put right under this video, okay? And then also go ahead and take the free course called the Phoenix course. And it's going to teach you in the Phoenix course how to buy Bitcoin on Cash App, how to buy Bitcoin on Coinbase, all the different ways to buy Bitcoin. We teach you guys for free. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. This is Eric Brent. Follow the money, Family Cash Machine. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Cryptocurrency.